His routine isn't complicated, that's the whole point. Same movements, same order, same handful of non-negotiables, whether the day ahead is quiet or the most dangerous day of his life. Most people think transformation requires a complicated system. 5 apps, a color-coded planner, a morning routine with 11 steps. He proves the opposite. The simplest routine, repeated without exception, beats the perfect routine you only do sometimes. Today, we're stealing the simplicity, not the complexity. Here's something you'll notice if you actually study this character closely, instead of just watching the action. His preparation is almost boring. A weapon checked, a jacket put on the same way, a short list of things done in the same order, regardless of what the day holds. No elaborate ritual with 20 steps. No complicated system that only works under perfect conditions. That's not an accident. That's the entire design philosophy behind real self-improvement. And it's the exact opposite of what most people are taught to build. Open any self-help app, and you'll find a morning routine with 11 steps. Cold plunge, journaling, 10 pages of reading, 20 minutes of meditation, a supplement stack, a gratitude list, a workout, all before 7 a.m. It looks impressive in a video. It survives about 11 days in real life, because the moment one part of your day goes sideways, a late night, a sick kid, a delayed flight, the whole 11-step system collapses and most people don't rebuild it. They just quietly stop. Here's the first truth about a routine that actually lasts. A routine that only works on your best day isn't a routine. It's a performance. A real routine has to survive your worst day, which means it has to be simple enough to do half asleep, sick, exhausted, or furious. He doesn't have a complicated system, because a complicated system fails exactly when you need it most. Under pressure, under chaos, on the day everything is falling apart. He has a short list of non-negotiables, simple enough to execute without thinking, because thinking is exactly what stress destroys first. There's a well-documented case of an ultra-successful investor known for an almost comically simple daily structure. The same modest breakfast, the same drive to the same office, the same reading routine, repeated with almost no variation for decades, even as his wealth and influence grew into one of the largest in the world. Reporters who've studied his habits over the years have noted that the simplicity wasn't a lack of ambition. It was deliberate. He didn't need his routine to impress anyone. He needed it to survive 50 years without breaking. And a routine anyone can maintain for 50 years has to be almost aggressively simple by design. Across every version of this character's story, one thing never changes, regardless of the chaos around him. A single, small, almost ceremonial action he performs before anything else begins. It's not dramatic. It's not even particularly interesting to watch. But it happens every single time, without exception, because it's not optional. It's the anchor everything else gets built around. This is the second truth, and it might be the most important one in this entire video. You don't need a full routine to get the benefit of a routine. You need one anchor habit, done without exception, that tells your mind the day has officially started, or this task has officially begun. Most people fail at routines because they try to install 10 new behaviors simultaneously, and none of them get repeated enough times to become automatic before the person gives up and starts over from zero. One anchor habit, repeated daily without exception, becomes automatic in a matter of weeks. 10 new habits attempted simultaneously usually collapse before any of them become automatic at all. Pick one, just one. Something small enough that skipping it feels genuinely uncomfortable, not something so large that doing it feels like a chore every single day. Picture a woman who tried and failed to build a consistent morning routine for years, always starting with an ambitious list, always abandoning it within 2 weeks. She finally succeeded the year she stopped trying to build a whole routine and instead committed to exactly one thing: making her bed every single morning, no exceptions. Even on the mornings she felt like garbage. It sounds almost too small to matter. But within a few months, something unexpected happened. The bed-making anchor started pulling other small habits along with it, almost automatically, because the identity shift, I'm someone who does the small thing, even when it's hard, mattered more than the bed itself. She didn't build a complicated routine. She built one habit strong enough to become the floor everything else eventually stood on. Notice something else about this character's world. The training you see isn't usually one dramatic breakthrough. It's constant, unglamorous maintenance. The same weapon cleaned again, the same conditioning kept up, the same small physical upkeep repeated on a schedule, whether or not a mission is coming. He doesn't let his edge decay and then try to heroically rebuild it right before it matters. He maintains it continuously, in small daily amounts, so there's never a steep hill to climb back up. This is the exact mistake most people make with self-improvement, and it's worth saying directly. Most people don't fail because they lack the ability to have one good week. They fail because they let the good week collapse, then have to heroically rebuild from zero every single time. And heroics are exhausting, unsustainable, and eventually just stop happening. Small, boring daily maintenance is unglamorous. It doesn't make a good highlight reel, but it's the only thing that actually compounds because it never lets the gap get large enough to require a heroic effort to close. There's a well-known account from the world of professional cycling about a team that decided, instead of chasing one dramatic breakthrough, to improve nearly 100 tiny, boring elements of their process by roughly 1% each. Sleep quality, hand washing to avoid illness, the weight of the tires, even the pillows riders traveled with. No single change was heroic or impressive on its own. But stacked together, maintained daily over time, those tiny 1% improvements compounded into one of the most dominant runs in the sport's modern history. Nobody was doing anything dramatic. Everybody was maintaining something small consistently every single day. Third truth, stop looking for the one heroic change that transforms everything overnight. Look for the small maintenance you can sustain forever, because forever is where the actual compounding happens. Here's a piece almost nobody thinks to look for. This character doesn't just have a way he starts, he has a way he ends. Weapons cleaned and returned to their place. The environment reset. Nothing left in disorder for tomorrow's version of him to deal with. The day closes deliberately, the same way it opens. Most self-improvement advice obsesses entirely over the morning and completely ignores the close of the day. And that's a mistake, because how you end today quietly determines how hard tomorrow's anchor habit will be to start. A chaotic, undone, disordered ending to today creates friction for tomorrow's version of you before they've even woken up. Consider a man who worked from home and noticed his mornings always felt like a losing battle. Cluttered desk, unanswered messages piling up, a kitchen from the night before still a mess. He didn't fix his mornings by trying harder in the morning. He fixed them by building a 5-minute close at the end of each workday. Desk cleared, tomorrow's top task written on a single sticky note. Kitchen reset before bed. Nothing dramatic. Just 5 minutes every night, without exception. His mornings transformed almost instantly, not because he'd changed anything about the morning itself, but because he'd removed the friction that used to be waiting for him there. Fourth truth, a great morning is often just yesterday's deliberate ending, wearing a different outfit. Close your day on purpose, and tomorrow's routine gets easier before it even starts.